Can you tell me about your collaboration with Akon? What was it like working with him?
It was, and it's introduced me to, to a different audience, which is so great. It was really great, and the reason why is because, again, it happened organically. So it wasn't like, oh my God, I want to work with some famous person so I can be famous too or something. And it was a friend who knew us both and said, you guys have got to meet. And I thought, why do we have to meet? I didn't know who he was. I didn't know anything about him. And of course, he didn't know who I was or anything about me. And this guy was adamant about it. I thought, whatever, okay, sometime. And so he said, okay, he's in New York now. You got to have dinner with him. I said, okay, I'll have dinner with him. So we meet for dinner. And it's this great, long, wonderful dinner. And we talk about all sorts of stuff. And I'm thinking, wow, this guy's a great guy. This was really cool. And I still didn't really know who he was. I mean, for whatever reason, the knee-jerk reaction of going on Wikipedia and doing all this, I didn't do. I just went out to dinner with him. And so after that was the summer of whatever year that would have been, but it was the summer, right? So then it was actually early July. And so then my wife and I went on vacation for about a month. And the whole time this guy's like, okay, you've met, now you gotta get down in the studio, you gotta make something happen, you guys gotta get in the studio. And it's like, this is not how it works. If he's a busy guy, he's got a lot going on, I'm not gonna just force something on him, and we're not gonna get in a room. And maybe you can do that with what's her name from No Doubt, Gwen Stefani. Maybe you can do that with Gwen Stefani, but with me, I mean, I just don't know where our common ground is even. I have no idea. So months went by, and he says, okay, he's in New York again. Have him come by, and we'll sit around and talk about the foundation stuff. And Akon, I think at the time also was realizing that his life was so much just about bling, basically, and that he knew there was more, and he was getting older, and that maybe he should learn about foundation stuff and all this kind of thing. And he had started a foundation, and so I think that's where his interest was. It's like, I want to learn a little bit about what this is all about. And so he came by the foundation offices, and we sat around and talked a little. And then I said, well, let me play a couple things. And so I played him the song Anything, which was written because of my experience of going to Sierra Leone and Liberia. So again, this was not a song that I thought I want to write about developing world poverty or something. It's not some intellectual thing. It's like I went there and went, oh my God, I've never seen anything like this, and I wrote about it. And so he felt that in the music. He felt the authenticity in the music, which what we were talking about before in terms of a teenager. Where's the authenticity? Where's the real you? And so he felt that in the music. He said, send me these tracks. I want to play around with them. So I said, great. I thought, well, this is cool. And now I know who he is. I'm thinking, this is, couldn't hurt to see what happens. And so I sent him the tracks right away to the song, to a studio near Atlanta. And this was probably now in the fall sometime, September, October, or something like that. And nothing happens. And I'm thinking, he's a busy guy, and that's great. But I forgot about it. In May, the following May, this is all a lesson in how much time it can take for anything to happen. I get an email, and it says, hey, check it out, from him. And he's attached the song, and I listened to it, and I'm like, oh my God. He didn't do a favor for a friend, where he like twiddled around a little bit on a song. He completely redid it, added a verse and all this stuff. And it was so great. And so then we spent some more time talking about, okay, what should we do with this? How can we? And then we did the other song, and it was very cool. He was very generous with his time and talent and I felt, whatever ups and downs his whole life and career have had. I mean, he hasn't behaved properly at all times, certainly, but I think he's growing up, and he's growing up in public, and anybody who grows up in public is, well, they're going to grow up in public, and they're going to see some things that may not be so great. But it was really a wonderful experience. I'm answering in paragraphs, but I figure it's more fun to hear more of the story, hopefully. It's,